Black Clover Chapter 244 is probably one of the most talked about chapters we had in quite a while. Usually when the community is talking about a particular chapter a lot, it's usually because something crazy or exciting happened in a chapter. But the assessment of this chapter 244 all relates to Gray saving Gauche. And the whole debate about this chapter all goes down to two problems: Gauche being saved and how he was saved. This chapter left a lot of people confused of how Gray was able to save Gauche with her magic, and today we are here to break that down. But for starters, we need to talk about the fact that Gauche, was he actually dying in terms of Black Clover lore? Now, what is the life source connection to a grimoire and a magic knight? We do know the foundation of a grimoire is to allow the user to access their full potential of their magic. But the key thing about a grimoire is that we do know is that it is connected to one's soul. If the user is dying, the grimoire starts to fade away, and if they eventually die, it disappears. Our first demonstration of this was when the royal capital was attacked by the Eye of the Midnight Sun early in the series, and they isolated Fagolion, and Patri was able to chop off his arm. When Valtos teleported Fagolion back to the royal capital, immediately his grimoire started to fade, indicating that he was indeed dying. Another example of this when Julius was stabbed by Patri, and once his life was fading away from him, immediately his grimoire started to fade. This gives us more clarity that Tabata has been keeping this routine going, showcasing to us that when a mage is dying, his grimoire is also fading. So was that the case with Gauche when he got stabbed by Dante? Not at all. When we seen Gauche laying there with Vanessa and Gray, we seen that his grimoire was still intact. It was never fading away, but I truly believe that if time went on longer, his grimoire would have faded away. But people tried to argue a lot on Twitter saying that this wasn't his grimoire, this was Vanessa, and that is wrong as well. Vanessa's grimoire is not designed that way, and Ghosh's grimoire is designed that way, and we've even seen it in the flashback of Gray's. It's in the exact same style, so this proves that this was Ghosh's grimoire. Vanessa's grimoire is not that detailed, it's more plain looking. In 2 chapters back, she already talked about that she ran out of magic when Dante used 60%, so there is no reason for her to even have her grimoire out. So yes, this is Ghosh's grimoire. So according to Black Clover lore, Ghosh was never dying. You can just say that he was severely wounded, but if time would have went on longer, I 100% believe that he would have died if Gray was never to save him, but she was able to save him before his grimoire faded away. Now the mysterious question is, how did Gray save Ghosh? What did she do? One thing we do know about Gray's magic is that she's able to change the property of one's magic into another attribute. From what we've seen, Gray's magic can pretty much counter anything. We've seen it when she was able to change Sally Gel magic into crystal. When no one there was able to stop her, her transformation magic also allows her to change Gordon's poison magic into cotton. Or when they was fighting elf-possessed Ghosh during the elf reincarnation arc, she was able to change the mini black bull hideout into glass from the outside. From that point on, we just knew that there was really no limit of what she could do until chapter 244 happened. Now we do know when a mage is in a deep dire situation or in deep emotion, they can unlock new spells, and a lot of us theorize that Gray will unlock a new spell because of the way she was crying looking at Ghosh, and then we see in this chapter the connection that she has with him during the flashback before they both became black bulls. So the mysterious magic that Gray has, I think the way that she was able to save Ghosh, since she can change the property of magic, I think she was able to transform Dante's attack spell that's inside of Ghosh into healing magic. And I don't think that is far-fetched to say because we've seen already that Gray can literally change the property of any magic. So before Tabata reveals anything down the line of what she actually did, I think it's safe to say that she transformed this magic into healing magic, and that is why she was able to close up the wound. Now the odd thing that happened in this chapter is the way that Vanessa reacted. After seeing this in the chapter, some people felt as though Vanessa seen this type of magic before, or she knew exactly what it was. Because Vanessa was pausing her speeches saying, "Gray, you," after seeing this spell, and also because of Gray's flashback story, we've seen her stepmother, who dressed from the back looks like the Witch Queen, but the dress is very different and the hat is even different. From what we've seen so far, the outfit that the Witch Queen wears and her hat is in a complete different style. Does this necessarily mean that this cancel out all the possibilities that could have been the Witch Queen? No, not necessarily. Maybe during that time the Witch Queen just had a different outfit. And then when Ghosh found Gray saving her, she was in the woods. But who knows, the world of Black Clover is so huge, there could be many parts in different places that has a group of witches. The Witch Forest may not be the only place where they reside in. So it's very possible that her stepsisters and stepmother could be witches, but from a different branch of witches, just like how you have royals throughout the entire continent, but you have different types of royals. You have royals in the Clover Kingdom like Noelle, the Silver family, and you have royals from the Spade Kingdom like Yuno. All witches may not be from the same place. And if that is the case, the way that Tabata is writing his story, if he has different witches, I think that would be pretty cool if we have different witches in different parts of the world. Maybe there's a witch out there that can compete with the Witch Queen and they have like a little rivalry. That would be dope. But overall, the chances of Gray being a witch is probably unlikely, but the possibilities are there. But overall, I do like this flashback story, this Cinderella-like story, because we understand why Gray is the way she is and why she's so shy and timid. I truly believe that Gray needed this moment to save Ghosh in this chapter because she was viewed as useless throughout the entirety of the Black Clover series. And she needed a spotlight. She needed a spotlight moment that can showcase her usefulness in the Black Bulls, and this was it. My favorite thing about her flashback though is how it intertwines with Ghosh's. After saving her only by the request by Marie, he doesn't realize that he gave her light. He gave her a chance to live on, and now that Gray is continuing to live on in the Black Bulls alongside with Ghosh, she doesn't feel useless. She feels as though her magic is useful. When her stepsister said that she was useless, she feels she has a purpose now, and that insecurity that she had of always hiding herself, she can now show herself, and she even said she wants Ghosh to look at her more, a stronger her. So after rereading this chapter, I'm glad that it highlighted that fact into Gray's life. Another thing I liked about this chapter is that Asta lost. Okay, like I know that Asta losing is a huge thing for me because I'm a huge Asta fan, but I'm glad that he lost because if he would have won this fight, it would have destroyed all tension for the entire arc. And I'm glad that did not happen so Asta can get a chance to fight him again and maybe win the next time. But I do think that he's going to capture Asta because he said he's going to knock Asta out with his fist. And he did that. If Dante truly wanted to kill Asta, I believe he would have done that right here. But since Asta is an arcane stage with the devil inside his grimoire, I truly believe he wants to capture Asta, so he just knocked him out before doing any more harm against him. Now with the confirmation of Dante that Gray is the arcane stage mage, he wants her to be his woman alongside Vanessa. And I think this is hilarious because it shows that Dante knows exactly what he wants and he's not afraid to say it. Some people went out their way and said Dante is a simp for wanting all these women, and I don't think that's the case. A simp is afraid to do something like this in person. You know, they usually do that online. They don't have the confidence to do that in person. Dante has it, so Dante is a pimp for wanting all these women. Now, at the end of this chapter, we've seen that Yami used his dark magic, which look as though is Dark Cloth Lightless Slash, but it's more upgraded, a more powerful version, and he must have been training quite a lot during this 6-month time skip. People thought that this was Dimension Slash, but I think it's more Lightless Slash because Dimension Slash is more of a clean, precise cut. It's more accurate. It's not as wild as this, but it is a precise cut. Now, the amazing thing about the end of this chapter, we've seen Yami. It looks as though he's floating without his broom, which is amazing because that lets us know that he has been training and learned the way to fly without using his broom. And I think this is awesome because it shows how much training he has been doing in the 6-month time skip. We're going to see some new crazy spells if this is the case, if he is indeed flying. And I think it's time for him to be able to fly without using his broom because we've seen Gaia was able to fly without using his broom. We've seen Licht is able to fly without using a broom. So I think it's time for Yami, since narratively in the story of Black Clover, it showed that he is arguably the strongest captain. And I think these guys, all the captains, need to be strong and they need to be able to fly because Dante is able to fly without using any broom, so it's time. But other than that, I do think this was a decent chapter, but I'm really excited for the main event. Even if Dante and Yami fight for just a panel or two, I'm stoked for that. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen. And comment below and tell me what you guys think about this. And also, if you're new to the channel, like, subscribe, and also join my Discord that's in the description. Follow me on Twitter, that is also in the description. Again, like, subscribe, Have an awesome life, take care of yourself, and I'm out.